The challenge has been accepted. It's Father's Day again. Can't wait to put together a great recipe. Well, maybe. What could go wrong? See,
All right, I've accepted the challenge. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. They got me good on this one because I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Okay, but I'm not gonna just leave it as a raspberry vinaigrette. I gotta do something different with it. The chicken, I'm gonna make sure I get that all cleaned up. I'll get it washed, and then I'll figure out what type of spice or ingredient I'm gonna come up with that, and then the other ingredients, how they're gonna be incorporated. I got a couple different ideas, but I'm actually leave this entire dish up for suspense. I'm not gonna say exactly what I'm cooking. I want you guys to watch the video to the end, and then you'll come up and you will see what I came up with. So stay tuned. I got the chicken all washed off. Now I want to get it dried off. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna put it in the refrigerator for just a couple minutes with no seasoning, because I want everything to really dry out, okay? For just a few minutes before I dry brine it with just salt. And that'll help with the seasoning. And then I'm just gonna come up with some type of rub or something for the chicken. So I got the chicken out of the fridge. I wanna get some salt all over the chicken, even inside the cavity here. Work with me here, buddy. And even on the underbelly, I still wanna put salt under here as well. And I know this looks like a lot of salt, but it's really not when you think about the whole bird, especially getting inside the chicken breast. I was just talking to a guy about dry brining and the importance of it. So you can do the same thing with steak, really with any type of meat where you dry brine it, and that way you actually get seasoning inside the meat instead of just on top of it. So let me get that back in the fridge. Pulling stuff from out the pantry or out the refrigerator because that's what I got to work with, okay? So let's go ahead and see, we got some ginger, garlic, I got an onion here. I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make a marinade for the chicken, okay? So I'm just gonna rough chop all of these. Alright, something in my mind is telling me to go Asian. So that's what I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna go Asian. So that's just a little bit of a tease.
now that the onions are chopped, I'll start working on my red bell pepper. And I want to get nice slices on this the same way with the onion. And then I'll start working on the ginger and the garlic. I'll tell you, at this point, I was feeling really good about this recipe. More about that later. I got the ginger all cleaned up and started making some slices on it. And then I'll work on the garlic shortly after that. What I'm gonna do is take the whole head of garlic, smash it down, and just get the garlic cloves peeled. And then of course, make sure I slice off the head part of the garlic because I don't want that to go in the marinade.
Alright, so we're gonna use the food processor. Throw all of these ingredients in. And this is gonna be part of our marinade for the chicken. Okay. We're gonna throw in some of that what's that here sauce. Some sesame oil. Some hoisin sauce. A little bit of oyster sauce. So you can kind of see where this is going. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. A little bit of spice with some chili oil. And I just want a little bit of this. I don't want to do too much. That was more than enough. Alright. Get this loaded up again. Now this is all stuff I had in my pantry, so just want to let you guys know that. Next thing I want is, let me move these out the way so that way we can see everything. Got some oranges I'm gonna use, and I'm using for the orange juice here. Okay, so this, let's go ahead and get the lid off. Leave that on, and then I've got to scoop some of that other stuff down. A little bit of soy sauce. And then this definitely needs some brown sugar. I have to include this, so I'm gonna pour a little bit of it in here. Full transparency, I taste it. Not my favorite, but it's part of the challenge. Now I'm gonna try to include this some other way, but right now it's going in the marinade for the chicken.
Next, I decided to use the bread and the corn chips / Fritos for a breading. And this is where things got really interesting. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you get a chance to mix the two of these together to make a breading, do it. It is absolutely delicious. I know I say that a lot, but I mean it. It is so good, and it's a great way to bread your chicken. After I got the breading done, I took the marinade, poured it all over the whole chicken. I was in a good spot and thought the challenge was going well. But what took place is after I let it marinate, the chicken, everything was looking and smelling delicious. But I thought to myself, I think it probably would have been better if I broke the chicken down.
So I went ahead and broke the chicken down because I felt like that would be the easiest way to do it. So I thought better of putting it in there whole. I still let it marinate, but then I broke it down, made a new marinade, and basically broke the pieces down individually. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fry the chicken, and yeah, it's gonna be delicious with this particular marinade. I already have my breadcrumbs, which you saw me do with the corn chips. So I'm gonna fry the chicken that way. And I think what we're gonna do is some Asian chicken tacos. That's the way we're gonna go with this.
Now, full disclosure, I have made fried chicken hundreds of times in my life. So I should know better than to simply take marinated chicken and throw it in breading. I should have had my normal breading station where I had some flour, some eggs, or some type of other binder to put the chicken on here. Again, I'll say this, and you'll hear me say it at the end. The chicken, the breading did go on the chicken, but the problem is it didn't stay on the chicken. And I think because I was overthinking the challenge, I did not want to make a salad with this. And what I should have done is just roasted the chicken whole. I still could have done an Asian marinade of some sort, but hey, that's part of doing these challenges, is thinking on the fly. So this is one of those things where it's part of cooking. And you know, I take the full results of what came out of this dish because it was good. But as you can see, my breading completely came off the chicken the minute it hit that oil, even after letting it rest for a bit. But my wife and my daughter, I must say, they really got me, and you guys will see at the end where I alluded to that. But this was absolutely a ton of fun.
And I like to slice these long ways. Just to me, it makes it a little bit easier, so that's how I'm going to slice those.
Once I took the chicken out, I knew immediately the mistake that I had made. But it was too late. I had breaded all the chicken, so I had to live with the results. I made the sauce that's gonna go with the tacos using some of the raspberry vinaigrette, some soy sauce, and also some garlic paste. This actually was really good, so I encourage you to try that one. My daughter even liked it. I had her taste test it. She thought it was good. Didn't look great, but it tastes good. Chicken was fully cooked, extremely juicy, but the breading did not stay on. Lesson learned.
So full disclosure, is the chicken good? It is. Did it come out exactly like I wanted it? No, you see my batter. Completely fell off. However, it's juicy, okay? And you can taste the marinade through the chicken.
Now that I got my chicken sliced up, I'm gonna take the lettuce and the tomatoes and mix it in with the sauce that I made, and that's gonna go right over top of the chicken. And like I said, all the components together came out really, really well. But you gotta complete the totality of the dish, and you need crunchy pieces of chicken to really, elevate it and make it taste exactly what you want. Not all dishes are gonna be perfect, and this was one of those that got the best of me. But there will be a redemption video, best believe it. So make sure you follow me, like, subscribe, so you get the alerts when that happens. But I enjoyed this challenge. I take the results, and you guys will hear what I have to say at the end.
So obviously, it tastes delicious. So here's what I made. I took the chicken, I marinated it, okay? What you guys saw, everything that I put in the marinade, including fresh orange juice, all kind of stuff was in that marinade. So the chicken has a ton of flavor, okay? The kicker in this whole thing was the raspberry vinaigrette. The lettuce, I knew I was gonna have to do a salad type component or something with the lettuce because that's just the way it's set up. So that's what I did on that end. And then I paired that with the tomatoes. So everything that was included, I made a soy, raspberry, garlic sauce to go on the lettuce and the tomatoes, okay? And then I took the corn chips, or the Fritos, and I actually blended those up with the baguette. So that's how I got my breading for the chicken. And then the chicken itself, you guys saw all the stuff that I marinated it in. It marinated for about 3 hours, but if I'd marinated it overnight, I think it would have been even better. So I'm gonna say this challenge was, we'll call it a draw. I don't even know if that's possible, but my wife and my daughter, they definitely got the best of me in this one. And honestly, I cannot wait to the next challenge. So I take my lumps like a man. It is what it is, but I look forward to this kitchen and what comes next.